Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of my podcast, Into the Void. My name is TJ Gerard. This is the allotted time every week that I've set aside to channel my inner angry old man and scream at the clouds. Thank you for being here with me. Some points of order for the podcast that I'll let you know what's going on. I've got lighting set up now. More lighting is on the way. More equipment is on the way. I'm not rich by any means. I don't have any sponsors, so I have to do this ordering one piece of equipment at a time, and hopefully before long, my living room will be a complete setup podcast studio. I had dinner with my best friends Amy and Carrie on Tuesday, and we're trying to figure out times and scheduling to get them worked in to be on the show, and whether or not we're going to do it here in my living room or if I take it on the road and you get to go with me on a road trip. So there may be days where this will be on a different day of the week. I've been doing it on Thursday the last 2 weeks and today because normally I'm off on Wednesdays, but I've switched and taken Thursdays off so I can take Mama B to some of her appointments and that. And so next week I go back to having Wednesdays off and working on Thursdays, so there may be a change of date of when I upload this and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm not rich, so I have to order one piece at a time and just go with what we got. But this hopefully is the last week that you hear just my voice and just see me. So we can probably get by next week we'll have the new microphone. We'll have everything set up so where at least Mama B will be over there on that side of the living room, and you'll get another perspective other than mine. So that's coming up, but there may be a change in dates of when I do this because I'm just making it up as it goes. So right now I'm doing it on Thursdays, but next week it could be a different day, but I'll just keep you updated on that of when that is. So let's jump right into it. The news of the day here in the Southeast, the news has been about you probably saw it on the news somewhere, and the story has changed so much over time. But there was a truck of aggressive monkeys, not just any monkeys, aggressive monkeys, and I don't know what kind of aggression that is, whether that's Antifa style aggression or just your regular HOA manager aggression, but they were aggressive monkeys that were infected with hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID, and it crashed and the monkeys went missing. And they told the hunters out there, because it's hunting season, weapons free and clear all these monkeys. But then the news changed nonstop of, well, first of all, they weren't monkeys. Secondly, they weren't infected. They weren't aggressive. It didn't happen at all. And that's the problem with social media, even though social media is the news now, and as Elon has said over and over again that we are the news, you still have to decipher what's believable and what isn't. I don't know if monkeys went missing in Mississippi. Hell, it's a crazy state. Who knows what the hell happens there anyways. So who knows what the truth of the matter is, but apparently it's happened in Florida before, but that's not shocking because it's Florida, So, who knows what's going on with the monkeys, but they were aggressive. Not just any monkeys, aggressive monkeys. Let's see. President Trump has been on his Asia tour, where he's negotiating peace deals and trade deals and all of that stuff while the government is still shut down. So it's been kind of a slow news week because, the president's out of country right now and the government shut down, and so the Democrats are still screaming about food stamps going away, and people are going to starve, and nobody's going to starve. I highly doubt that, and you can criticize me if I'm wrong, but either side is going to cave by tomorrow, and the government will be funded, or at least that particular part of the government will be funded. Nobody's going to get starved to death. I mean, my dad used to tell me years ago, he said, if you starve to death in America, it's because you're trying to starve to death in America, because somewhere somebody's going to feed you. If you want food, somebody's going to offer you food. especially here in the South. You can't come over to my house. I made a post about it on X the other day. You know, you come over to my house, whether it be good or bad intentions, you're still probably going to get fed. So nobody's going to go without food, and if they do, I mean, this is the thing that I've been buying into it about it is that, if Democrats let this go and let the SNAP benefits go away, then the Democratic constituents are going to take to the streets and riots, and that's going to play right into President Trump's hand of the Insurrection Act and all that stuff. So I just don't think any of that's going to happen. So, I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong a few times in my life, but I just don't see people going hungry. Things are going to work out by tomorrow. Today's October 30th, so tomorrow's Halloween. And by tomorrow, things are going to work out, and nobody's going to lose their benefits, and nobody's going to go hungry, and all of that. But been a really slow news week, so this is probably not going to be a long episode because generally there's just not that much to talk about. But a thing that I made a post about the other day that really it gets to me. And I've made it known on this podcast and make it known on my X account and things like that I'm a sinner saved by the grace of Jesus Christ. But it bothers me when people who absolutely despise Christianity try to use the Bible in an argument about politics. Well, Jesus said, feed the poor, feed the hungry. Yeah, Jesus did say that. Jesus also said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. You can't, unless you believe the book, you can't use subtext in the argument. It just doesn't work. You don't get to do that. You try to do that to, score political hits and say, haha, but Jesus said this. You don't even believe in Jesus. So don't try to use him in an argument. Yeah, Jesus did say we should feed the poor and feed the hungry, but he didn't say the government should mandate that we feed the poor and feed the hungry. He just said, hey, you feed the poor, feed the hungry. And he's talking to me too when he said that. So, once again, nobody's going to go without food, but I just don't like it when non-believers try to use the Bible against believers. That's a satanic tactic, and I'm not super religious. I just see it for what it is. Like I said, I'm just a regular sinner saved by grace. The weather has been crazy. It went straight. I was wearing shorts last week, and so here in South Alabama, we just skipped straight from summer. Right, I mean, we had like 4 days of fall straight into winter, and winter in Alabama, okay, let me tell you, it's 50 degrees outside. So if you're from up north and you're like 50 degrees, that's beautiful weather. It's not in South Alabama. That's cold. And I went out today and bought a down comforter for my bed because I don't like being cold. I don't know anybody in the South who likes being cold. But apparently it's hunting season. I used to hunt when I was a child, and up into my teen years, I don't hunt anymore for a couple of reasons, but mainly because I don't enjoy being cold. I don't like sitting out where it's cold and waiting. Now, if the purge happens or World War III happens or a civil war happens and it comes down to feeding my family, I'll go hunt. Absolutely, I'll go hunt, and I'll kill a deer, and I'll kill a wild hog, and I'll stack my freezer full of food, and we'll go from there. But until it becomes a necessity, I'm not going to sit out in the cold and do it. I appreciate the ones that do. Fully support hunters. First of all, it culls the herd, keeps people, the herd's small, so I'm not running them over with my car heading down the highway. And so I 100% appreciate hunters, but I don't do it. So nobody in the South other than hunters like cold weather. So, yeah, what else is going on? that's about it. Like I said, it's going to be a short episode. I'm still figuring this out. I did get lighting set up. Um, so hopefully come probably next Wednesday. I just talked to Amy on my cell phone, and probably by next Wednesday, she's going to come over, and we got the microphone, and we got the new microphone stand, and we're going to have this set up to where it'll be a dual viewership. So I'll have somebody to talk to instead of just listening to my own voice while I stare at this camera. And I'm trying. I don't. Once again, I don't know how I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm just trying. So hopefully by the end of the by the end of November, maybe by the end of the year, I hope to have this 100% rocking and rolling. I don't have any sponsors, obviously, so I'm doing this a little bit at a time with what little bit of extra money I have. And so if you think you might want to sponsor me, if you think of a company that would be good to sponsor me, hey, give them a shout out. But once again, we're going to get this going. I'm going to take the podcast on the road, so it ain't going to be just this same view every day. First of all, it gets me out of the house. And, you know, I'm going to go visit my friend Carrie in Montgomery, and we'll just do this live on the road in Montgomery, and that'll be exciting. So, yeah, that's about it, because like I said, it's been a slow news week. Nothing's really going on. Aggressive. If you see an aggressive monkey, I'd probably shoot it. I don't know. I mean, this is Alabama. We shoot shit. So if you see an aggressive monkey, shoot it. If you want to call the authorities, call them. Anyways, don't forget to set your clocks back this weekend. I hate it, but it is what it is. Once again, I'm going to end every show with 22 a day of veterans kill themselves. That number needs to be 0. If you know a veteran, contact them, check on them regularly, especially in this seasonal depression. With the short days and the cold weather, it gets to a lot of people. So check on your elderly, check on your veterans. Secondly, Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins, for mine too. Rose again on the third day that we can find forgiveness of sins and receive the gift of eternal life through his son, Jesus Christ. And if you don't know him, learn, ask somebody that knows him. Ask me, comment, message me on X. Find somebody that knows him, that has a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and we can let you know how to know Jesus Christ. And there's no greater gift than salvation. And I'm not here to be a preacher. I'm not a preacher. My dad was a preacher. But if I found salvation, I'm sure going to tell you about it. So thanks for being here, helping me grow. It's going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing the Friday safety brief. I'm learning this as I go. Like I said, this will be the last week that is just me. My friend Amy will be here probably Wednesday, and we'll do a full episode then with my best friend Amy. Maybe next weekend I'll go to Montgomery and do an episode with my best friend Carrie in Montgomery. And we'll try to get Mama B on here too. And my next door neighbor or Joe Blow walking down the street, anybody that wants to come down and sit down and have a conversation. If you're one of my followers on X or one of my subscribers on YouTube, you know, hey, hit me up. Hey, I'm going to be in town. Hey, come on, we'll feed you and we'll shoot the shit talking on camera. So thank you. This isn't as long as it could have been, but like I said, it's a slow news week. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next week, probably Wednesday.